As I said, Rodney Perry is back with us here at the top of the show. Rodney, man, thanks a lot for being back with us here at Conversations Live.
Hey, thanks for having me. I know you got a choice of who y'all talk to, and I feel like I'm doing so with my life. I'd have talked twice.
Rodney, you know what, man? I want to start there if you don't mind. I also co-executive produce Fashion Forward with Gail Ambo, and you were on her show just last week. And what has always struck me about you, and I want to talk about how you've been able to do this, is so many people lose themselves as they have continued on their way, especially when they're getting the kind of recognition that you've been able to get on a national and international scope. How have you been able to remain true to who you are as an individual?
That's such a great question because, Cyrus, to be honest, I'm just living my life, man. I'm so far from where I'm going, it's not hard to be where I am, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So, but I would imagine even once I've achieved that thing, whatever that thing is that I'm shooting for, that I would still be me. I think a lot of people, they're enamored with the things that come along with the byproducts of doing what you do. Like, I'm a comedian, so it's very important that as a comedian I remain connected to my audience.
Right.
So if I allow myself to become disconnected because of fame, because of money, because of things, then I do my audience a disservice, and I can no longer do my job.
Right.
So I think that's the basis of my humility, if you will.
It seems as though for you, Rodney, and you and I kind of talked about this before, that, of course, the center, what most people know you for, is the comedy, and you're great at that. But the last time you were on this program, you were promoting a movie. So we know that you're great at acting as well. A lot of people got to know you as the co-host of the Monique Show, so we know you in that role. You're back on the road. You're also hosting your own radio talk show here on blogtalkradio.com. You wear a lot of hats. As you are building what we call here the brand, and what many people would see as your brand, what is that really the core of who you are, the comedy, being able to laugh at ourselves, laugh at the world, and being able not to forget and take things too seriously? Is that kind of the core of everything else you do?
The comedy is my foundation. Everything else, whether it be radio or television or film, those things are all sitting on the foundation of the comedy. And what I mean when I say that, my comedy is, that's the thing that fuels my passion. If I got the opportunity to do one thing forever and not do anything else, that thing would be comedy. So although I enjoy creatively, I enjoy the other aspects of what I do. I enjoy acting. I enjoy improv. I enjoy, hosting my radio show. But it goes all toward, it's a means to an end. It's building a brand, just like you said. And what I found is that if I created a radio show, then at the very least I could advertise my engagements, at the very least. Forget the interviews. If I don't talk to nobody else, I'm gonna let y'all know what Rodney Perry is next weekend. So that's one of the reasons I created the show. And then I also, the flip side of that is I wanted to create an avenue where we could get to know a little bit more about a guy than a normal interview. A lot of times, you only get 5 or 10 minutes with any given quote-unquote celebrity. So I wanted a more lengthy interview, and I wanted to be, like man to man, a woman to woman, outside of the celebrity, so you can get kind of those little stories that you would normally get.
And I think that's one of the great things about success and why you've been so blessed, Rodney, is because you've made it bigger than just you, because you realize it's so much bigger than that. Again, the website is rodneyperry.com, is where you can go for all the updates. Also, to find out how to stay in contact with him on Facebook and Twitter, it's really easy, at Rodney Perry on Twitter. Rodney Perry is where you can look for his fan page on Facebook as well. Rodney, man, last question I have for you. I always ask our guests this. I asked you this last time, but I think it's always so important. When people look at your success, look at what you've done in comedy and movies, of course on the stage, now as a talk show host as well, what do you say to individuals, man, to keep them inspired? You know, there's a lot out there beating them down, a lot of negative forces out there trying to destroy them. What do you say to people to help them to remember the importance of not giving up?
The first thought I want to give to the people is this. It gets very, very difficult before it gets very, very good, always. It's always the absolute hardest before it gets anywhere near the absolute goodness that you're searching for. So if you haven't reached your breaking point, the hardest point, you're not there yet. And once you reach that point, just be prepared to push through that, and on the other side of that is always something great, always something good. And the person that gives up will never be successful.
Yeah.
Never.
I think that's it. Yeah, the importance of not giving up. Rodney, man, it's always a pleasure. Thank you again for taking out the time, man, to be with us. I really do appreciate it.
Hey, Cyrus, thank you so much, man. I know you got a choice of who you talk to, and I'm down twice. So I'm telling everybody that's 2 times, and I'm going for a 3rd.